Irashaimase! Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this Saturday we have Sengoku Cannon, the last game in the Sengoku Ace series released for the Switch. What kind of taste will it have? Let's get cooking and find out. Sengoku Cannon is an interesting game. So it released 9 years after the previous Sengoku Ace title, Sengoku Blade, or Tengai as it was known in the West, and it wasn't developed by Saikyo, but rather by former Saikyo team members working at Xnaut. It only came out on the PSP, so it didn't have any other release than that up till this point. Also, I must note that at this point, Sengoku Cannon is currently only available on the Japanese eShop. It is not on the North American and EU eShops. That's probably due to the lack of an official English version at this point. Hopefully they will localize it and then we'll get those in the other territories, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. Still, it's great to have another way to play this one other than on the PSP. So, what kind of game do we have here? Diving into the story, we're taken to our character select. Normally you only have 4 characters to select from, but you can unlock the final 2 by using a code that's listed in the game's digital manual. And that code happens to be at the start screen, or the title screen rather. You press left 3 times, down once, right 9 times. You should hear a chime, and these 2 characters will be available as well as hard difficulty if you haven't unlocked it. The way to unlock them normally would just be by completing the game multiple times, so it depends on if you want to see them faster or not. So, Sengoku Cannon is a horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up where each character has 3 different shots. A normal shot, a laser or focus shot, a cannon shot, and a bomb. So let's take a quick look at our character roster and what they can do. So we'll start with Koyori, who's a returning character from the previous Sengoku games. So for her base attack, she's attacking with talismans. And for her focus attack, her talisman screen just focuses in on a little bit tighter of a stream. Her Sengoku Cannon shot is just a fireball, and then she has her talisman bomb from the previous Sengoku Blade. Mizuka is a new character to the Sengoku series. She attacks with a wide needle spread, with her laser or focus attack being a laser filled with kanji. Her cannon attack is just a fireball, and her bomb is a massive laser filled with kanji. Our ever-lost samurai Ain goes and makes a return to the Sengoku series yet again, and he attacks with arrows. His focus attack is a really fast stream of arrows, with his cannon attack just being a beam, and his bomb attack being a massive sword laser. Tengai, who's one of the unlockable characters, also makes a return. His base shot are beads. He uses the same kind of laser that Mizuka has, as well as his bomb being the same kind of laser, but his cannon attack is his bird, just all in fire form. And last, we have the other unlockable character, Eunice, also making a return from previous Sengoku Blade. Her attack is kunai. She has a focused kunai attack. Her cannon attack is shuriken, and her bomb attack is her hana no mai. She's also the fastest character in terms of movement. But for our purposes today, we'll be playing the game as what would essentially be the main character, Masamitsu, who's a new character to the series. We'll be playing it on easy just to keep things simple. So, as I mentioned, it's a horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up, but gone are the pre-rendered, well, the hand-drawn 2D art for the background, and instead we have 3D rendered backgrounds on the PSP. Unfortunately, the effect there, I feel, comes out blander than the original art. So, and also, when placed on a larger screen, I don't feel it necessarily looks anywhere near as good as the previous art did. Although played in handheld mode, I do feel that this game does look better. And that also applies to the character sprites and the enemy sprites. They definitely look better on a smaller screen rather than a much larger screen, as that's what the game was originally designed for. So, as I mentioned, we have our main shot for every character. For Masamitsu here, it's just energy waves that he fires. His focus attack turns it into an awesome laser attack. And for his cannon attack, he throws out these sword slashes. So here we're already at the boss for stage 1, just this automaton. One thing that I don't feel Sengoku Cannon gets quite as well as the previous 2 Sengoku titles is that feeling of like sci-fi-ish technology in a Sengoku period that the previous ones have. I mean, we do have this like robotic enemy, and some of the base fodder kind of have to capture that feel, but you don't have some of the airships and stages and other things that really helped set apart the previous 2 Sengoku titles for their setting. Once the boss is defeated, you get your bonus here. So one thing I haven't mentioned about the cannon attack is it has a really interesting point increasing mechanic. So if enemies happen to have shots on screen and you destroy them with the cannon attack, their shots will turn into coins, giving you extra bonus points, as well as destroying them will also give you a multiplier. So if you're looking to capture the most points possible, you want to use your Sengoku Cannon, or rather, your cannon attack as much as possible. It's also possible while you're using your focus or regular shot to intermix that in there. It's not as easy to go and see with Masamitsu's attack as it is with others, but that's a way you can both be attacking and dealing a lot of damage while still getting a lot of points. I haven't used his bomb yet. We'll do so against the upcoming mini-boss we have for this stage. So you do have some returning characters as far as mini-bosses are concerned from previous titles. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she's one of them. Her character sprite here is definitely not very detailed, and like I said, I think that's just due to the system that it was originally designed for. A smaller screen, they didn't make the character sprites nearly as detailed as they were in previous titles. So for Masamitsu's bomb, he fires all these homing lasers at the enemy, which can go and be really effective for some, or not very effective for others. It depends on which boss you're fighting, as some of the bosses have extra units flying around them that confuse your homing lasers. Alright, with her defeated, we continue on with the rest of stage 2. So one thing about the laser attack that every character has that's nice is it also gives you a focus attack, definitely making things easier to dodge, especially if you're using Eunice, as her base speed is just too ridiculously fast. Remember, if you're looking for good points, we want to make sure we're using our cannon attack. So there are only 5 stages total in the game, which is a little bit of a reduction from previous Sengoku titles, although the stages are slightly longer. However, we do not have the randomized start stages like the previous titles, nor are there any kind of branching paths that were present in Sengoku Blade. So that's a little bit of a disappointment to see it kind of pared down that way. So that's basically what we have as far as Sengoku Cannon. So minus flavors, well, it's kind of disappointing that the art and just the look of the game itself ends up being so bland. They were trying to go for something different and experimental for this PSP release, and in the end, I don't feel that it worked well at all. Another minus flavor is there are no character voices in the game. Which was something that was present in the previous 2 Sengoku titles, so the lack of any kind of voices when you're doing your specials or character selection or anything like that is really disappointing in this one to me. As far as the plus flavors are concerned, I do like the additional scoring that you get with using the cannon shot. Not only are you getting bonuses in the stage itself, but you also get bonuses when you get to the end of the stage. And, well, this is kind of a cop-out for a plus flavor, but this release in general is something that I consider a plus flavor, as the game itself wasn't super hard to find for the PSP, but at the same time, it was one that I was never really all that keen about picking up for the system. And after having put more time into it, I definitely feel that's the right choice, as I don't think it's worth a whole lot more than what they're charging for it on the eShop. This eShop release of it is definitely the best way and the best price point to obtain Sengoku Cannon. So, if you're interested in checking out the last entry in the Sengoku Ace series, Sengoku Cannon, you can currently pick it up on the Japanese eShop only, and, you know, it's definitely an interesting title to take a look at, if not the best in the series. If you're looking for the best in the Sengoku Ace series, that would definitely be Sengoku Blade. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this week's episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. As always, I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining me this week, and I look forward, as always, to seeing you again next week.